Hey everyone, it's CL back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the story behind some books that I own, and if this is actually part 2, if you want to see part 1, please check out the link in the description box below. But really what this video is that I'm going to show you a handful of books that I own and kind of talk through why that book stands out to me, why it is special. And yeah, so I hope that you find it somewhat interesting and maybe it will help you reflect back on some of the books that you own that you might have forgotten about, that might be in the back of your mind. But other than that, let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and change my camera angle so you can get a better view of the books. And yep, so I'll see you in a bit. So the first book that I want to share is this one here called Tomorrow, Adventures in an Uncertain World by Bradley Trevor Grieve. And this is a book that I would read a lot in college whenever I was feeling sad, whenever I was feeling down. I would pick this up and read through it, and by the end I always felt a little happier. I always felt a little more optimistic. So yeah, this is a book that I actually forgot about until today when I was packing up some things for our future move. I came across this book again and it immediately put a smile on my face because I just associate it with something good, something that helps me, something that makes me happy. So I definitely do recommend checking this out. It will put you in a good mood, make you smile. It's one of those books that is just good to have on hand just in case you need a lift-me-up. So the next book I want to share is this one here, the robot book. And the reason why this book is really special to me is because it's one of my daughter's very first books. And I'm not talking about the books that you buy and that they chew on. This is actually one of the books that she got to interact with like all these little gadgets, all these little things to spin and move. But it got me thinking, like, what was my very first book? Do you guys remember what your first book was as a child? I want to say that my very first book was The Little Red Hen, and I remember I had a cassette that went along with it. I would put the cassette in my like purple boombox and I would follow along with the book. And The Little Red Hen, if I'm thinking correctly, I want to say that's the story about the hen who is asking all the other animals who will help her bake the bread. They all say no, and in the end she makes it by herself, and all the other animals later are like, oh, can I have some? And she's like, nope, because you didn't help me. So I really love that book. I must have listened to that book on cassette more than 100 times. I loved it. The next book I have to share is this one here called Ada to a Scientist. Now the reason why this book stands out to me and is special to me is because remember last year when there was that whole Booktube controversy with diversity and books, and through that controversy the Diversathon Readathon was created. And not only did I participate in Diversathon, I had my daughter participate as well, and when we were in Barnes & Noble I stopped by the children's section and picked her up a couple books, and this is one of the books that I picked up for her, Ada to a Scientist. But not only do I think this book is special because we read it for Diversathon, but it's also special because it encourages little girls to be involved in math and science, and it was really well executed. So absolutely love this book. This next book here I got at Costco, and I had to pick this up because I've never seen a book like this before. It's like a hologram style book where the pictures like move. And I think mostly, not only did I think it was cool, but I also thought it was really neat because it reminded me of Harry Potter. You know how in Harry Potter they have like the moving pictures like in his like photo album and stuff? I thought this was really cool. You can see like the animals moving, the sea creatures moving. Oh, let me show you the one. Okay, this next picture, I bought this also for my daughter because I thought she really loves animals and I thought she would get a kick out of it. But I showed her this one here, this shark, and she was scared. She didn't want to see this one. But I thought this was really cool. So I like this book. I have seen many more like this now, but at the time when I first came across it, I thought it was really different and it was really neat. So yeah, I wanted to highlight this one because it's different. The last book that I have to share today is this one here called Little Elliot, Big City. And immediately when you open the book, it says, for anyone who feels unnoticed. And I think that's a lot of us, you know. But essentially it's about this little elephant here. He's like really, really small. So like whenever he goes places, he goes unnoticed because he's so small. And he tries to like order cupcakes and the cashier doesn't hear him or even notice him. So he goes home and feels really sad. and he lives in the big city, and it's like a very fast-paced environment. It seems like he's so out of place, even though this is his home. But the reason why this book is really special to me is because, as you know, my child and we both suffer with anxiety, and we moved to this very, very busy place. And one of my big fears as a mom was that my daughter was going to have a very hard time adjusting to just this faster, more crowded, busier lifestyle. And when we were in New York City for the first time, one of the places we went to just look around is Grand Central Station, as you know, a very, very busy train station. And we just kind of looked around, we ordered some cupcakes and found a seat. And it was actually really nice because we just enjoyed our cupcakes with each other, and we listened to like the street performer play the violin, and I swear to you, it felt like the most beautiful moment. You know that expression people use, like it felt like time stopped? That's what it felt like to me. It felt like time slowed down or even stopped, because in that moment, it felt like just us, the person playing the violin, our cupcakes, and it was very peaceful, you know? And I think that's why this book is so special, because it kind of came into our lives at a time where we were getting used to this new life that is just faster and busier and not what we were accustomed to. And we kind of felt like little Elliot, that we feel a little out of place, kind of like we don't belong. But there's like the simple things in life that we've really come to love, like cupcakes. And of course, in the book, Elliot is seeking out this delicious cupcake that he wants, and in the end, he is successful. Sorry to spoil it. So I hope that you enjoyed that to some extent. And if you have a book that stands out to you or is special for a particular reason, please let me know down below in the comments, because I am incredibly curious. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.